Welcome back, anybody. I just did a video on the highlights of 2023, and since the highlights only cover the highlights and the good stuff and everything else and none of the goof-ups, I decided that it's probably a good idea to do the lowlights of 2023, and here they are. I hope you enjoy. Well, that was 2023. Let's get started on 2024, and hopefully you'll be continuing, what do we want to say? Hopefully you'll follow along not behind with me. And I'm hoping that you come along with me. There you go. Okay. And what are highlights? What do we want to say? So what we need to do is put down what I call, put out. Okay. Let's do this one over.
It's the old Chappie died, they said. Old Dale Chapman. Yeah, they said he died, yeah. Found him in bed, that's sad. Joe told me yesterday. Dale Cat, he did, your buddy Dale,
They found Doug Clark last week in bed. How are you, bud?
6 weeks, I'll be fucking gone.
He told me today, like,
Did anybody happen to notice that somebody forgot to lower the tow board again? Hey, there's Carl. Say hello to Carl, everybody. Hello, Carl. Notice how the cant, instead of sliding down the loading arms as expected, decides at the last second to do a 90-degree flip and land right on the tip of the loading arm. Here it is again in painfully slow motion. Not only is the loading arm badly bent, but the powder coat has broken off as the metal bent. Final score for round 1 is Wood-Mizer LT40 Wide 0, Hard Maple Cant 1. Pay attention to what the old guy says and watch how his words come back to bite him right in the... Welcome back, anybody. I got a very, very nice oak log on the mill. It's roughly 24 by 29 inches on the small end. Down here it's about 30 by 34 inches. Mr. Doyle says there's about 250 board feet in the log. And this is one of those good news, bad news things. Actually, it's good news, bad news, good news, good news, good news. The good news is it's a beautiful log. I think there's one limb coming off. The bad news is somebody spray painted black spray paint right here. Or we have metal. So that's the bad news, that we have metal. The good news is we know about it. The better news is we know where it is. And the better news is out on the outside, so we're not going to ruin a whole bunch of wood to get to it. So let's, I guess we're going to get started getting the metal out of here first, and then move on from there. Right there on this black spot. So that narrows it down. I can chase off, see what you like. I wasn't surprised, and neither should you be. The problem I'm going to have with this small tree is the big tree is pushing up against it, so it's forcing it over toward the left, and the tree isn't big enough to do a plunge cut. So what I'm hoping to be able to do is get the felling notch and the back cut done well enough and fast enough so it doesn't barber chair on me. It almost didn't barber chair. Almost. For your education and viewing enjoyment, I want to demonstrate why it's a good idea to wear steel-toe shoes while you're working in the woods. Steel-toe shin pads are also a good idea if they make such a thing. Wearing chaps wouldn't have made any difference, so don't mention it in the comments. That log is acting just like a 2-year-old when company comes over. Doesn't want to do a darn thing you want it to do. Matt said yesterday, bring your metal detector. I forgot. So I told him today we would use the saw blades in order to check for metal. Saw blades work perfectly every time. Boy, am I glad that was a brand new blade instead of an old, dull one. I figure if you're going to ruin a blade, at least it should be a good one and not an old one. Welcome back, anybody. We've got a really nice Well, that was 2023. Let's get started on 2024, and hopefully you'll be continuing, what do we want to say? Hopefully you'll follow along with me. And I'm hoping that you come along with me. There you go. Okay. And what are highlights? What do we want to say? So what we need to do is put down what I call, or put out. Okay. Let's do this one over. And I guess that concludes the lowlights of 2023. So hopefully after this, we will have nothing but highlights for the rest of 2024.